First contact and assessment. The vast blackness of space stretched endlessly, broken only by the cold light of distant stars and the occasional glimmer of passing comets. Into this darkness cut the sleek, predatory form of the hegemony scout vessel Harbinger. It tall, a deep midnight blue that seemed to drink in the light around it, bore the emblem of the galactic hegemony, a stylized hand grasping a cluster of stars. Commander Zorix stood on the bridge, his tall, gaunt frame silhouetted against the main view screen. His species, the Vexari, had been the founding race of the hegemony 3,000 years ago. Their natural talent for strategy had built an empire spanning 17% of the Milky Way galaxy, incorporating over 300 sentient species. Status report on the target system, Zorix commanded, his voice a rasping whisper that nonetheless carried across the bridge. Science Officer Tella, a member of the methane-breathing Gorthan species, manipulated her console with 6-fingered hands. The star is a G-type main sequence, approximately 4.6 billion years old. 8 planets, 1 habitable. The third planet shows extensive development and electronic emissions. Life signs? Zorix asked, already knowing the answer. The hegemony's long-range scanners had detected the radio and television broadcasts decades ago. Another primitive world, ripe for integration. Abundant. Population approximately 8 billion. Technology level. Pre-FTL. They have achieved limited space travel within their own system. Zorix nodded. Standard procedure, then. Deploy observation drones. I want a full assessment within 1 lunar cycle of the target planet. 10 sleek, beetle-like drones detached from the Harbinger, their stealth systems rendering them virtually invisible to Earth's detection systems. They entered orbit around the blue-green planet, beginning their systematic cataloging of Earth's defenses, resources, and civilization. Unaware of the alien eyes watching from above, the people of Earth continued their daily lives. People commuted to work, children attended school, and politicians argued over budgets and borders. But not everyone on Earth was oblivious to the watchers above. Deep beneath the Antarctic ice shelf, in a facility known only to a handful of the world's most powerful leaders, Dr. Elena Vasquez studied the readouts on her holographic display with growing concern. The stealth signature matches nothing in our database, she reported to the assembled group of military and scientific leaders. But their scanning patterns are consistent with reconnaissance. General Zhang Wei, commander of Earth's Unified Space Defense Force, studied the orbits of the alien drones superimposed over a 3-dimensional representation of Earth. They're thorough, covering every continent, every major city, every military installation. They think they're being clever, remarked Admiral Ndidi Okafor, her dark eyes narrowed. They have no idea what they're walking into. The collection of individuals in the room represented Project Sentinel, humanity's greatest secret. For nearly a century, Earth's nations had maintained the illusion of division and technological limitation, all while cooperating in secret to prepare for this very day. It had begun in 1947 with the recovery of a crashed alien vessel in New Mexico, not the first visitors to Earth, but the first to leave behind intact technology. Reverse engineering the recovered artifacts had led to quantum leaps in human understanding of physics, biology, and computing. Yet the world's leaders had made a strategic decision. Humanity would hide its true capabilities until absolutely necessary. How long until the mothership makes contact? Asked President Chen of the United World Council. Dr. Vasquez consulted her data, based on their drone deployment pattern, and the energy signatures we're detecting. I'd say they're gathering intelligence. Probably 2 to 3 weeks before they make their move. General Zhang nodded. That gives us time to prepare. Are the Guardians ready for deployment? Admiral Okafor's expression hardened. They've been ready for 20 years, General. The question is whether we're ready to reveal ourselves to the world. President Chen looked at each face in the room. We always knew this day would come. Implement protocol revelation. But let's give our visitors a little surprise first. 3 days later, Commander Zorix was reviewing the preliminary data from the observation drones when Alert Officer Krev interrupted. "Commander, one of our drones has gone offline." Zorix looked up sharply. "Malfunction." "Unknown, sir. Last telemetry showed all systems functioning normally, then nothing." "Location of the drone when contact was lost. Over a region they call Pacific Ocean. No significant technology centers nearby." Zorix frowned. Coincidences made him uneasy. "Redirect Drone 5 to investigate." 24 hours later, Drone 5 also went silent. Then a third. By the end of the week, half of the hegemony's observation drones had mysteriously vanished. On the bridge of the Harbinger, the atmosphere had grown tense. "This is not random malfunction," Zorix stated flatly. "Something on that planet is targeting our drones." Science Officer Tella looked troubled. "But our scans show no weapons technology capable of detecting our stealth systems, let alone neutralizing our drones." "Then our scans are missing something," Zorix snapped. "Contact the Hegemony Command. Inform them that the target planet may have hidden defensive capabilities. Request a full integration fleet." As the message traveled through subspace to the nearest Hegemony outpost, Zorix made a decision. "Prepare a direct reconnaissance mission. I want troops on the ground. 12 Hegemony soldiers, each from a different species chosen for their infiltration abilities, deployed to Earth's surface. Their mission was simple: blend in, observe, and report back on any technologies that might explain the loss of the drones." None returned. On day 15, the Harbinger detected a small spacecraft launching from Earth. Unlike the primitive chemical rockets their intelligence had identified, this vessel rose silently through the atmosphere on what appeared to be some form of gravity manipulation. "Impossible," Science Officer Tella whispered, staring at her readings. "They shouldn't have that technology." The Earth vessel approached the Harbinger directly, broadcasting on standard hegemony frequencies. A human face appeared on the main view screen, a woman with dark skin and serious eyes. "Hegemony vessel, this is Admiral Ndidi Okafor of Earth's Unified Defense Force. Your reconnaissance activities have been detected and your infiltration units contained. Be advised that Earth is not open to integration into your empire." Commander Zorix recovered quickly from his shock. "This is Commander Zorix of the Galactic Hegemony. Your world has been selected for the privilege of joining our collective civilization. Resistance is unnecessary." Admiral Okafor interrupted. "We are not resisting. We are declining. There is a difference." Zorix's facial ridges flushed dark purple with anger. "You do not have the option to decline. The hegemony has identified your world as suitable for integration. This will proceed with or without your cooperation." Admiral Okafor's expression remained calm. "Commander, I understand that in your experience, pre-FTL civilizations have no choice but to submit. I'm informing you that Earth is an exception to your rule. We have monitored your empire's expansion for decades. We know your protocols and capabilities." "Then you know resistance is futile," Zorix stated confidently. "The integration fleet will arrive within 30 days. They carry enough firepower to reduce your cities to ash." "We are transmitting a data package to your vessel," Admiral Okafor replied, ignoring the threat. "It contains proof of our technological capabilities and a formal request for diplomatic recognition instead of integration. We suggest you review it carefully before the fleet arrives." The transmission ended, leaving a stunned silence on the Harbinger's bridge. "Sir," Alert Officer Krev called out, "we've received their transmission. It's extensive. The data package contained detailed specifications of technologies that, by the hegemony's understanding, should be beyond humanity's reach. Gravity manipulation, energy shields, faster-than-light communication, and weapons systems that could theoretically match or exceed hegemony capabilities." Science Officer Tella spent days analyzing the data. "Either this is the most elaborate bluff in hegemony history," she finally reported, "or Earth possesses technology equal to or exceeding our own, despite their apparent development level." Commander Zorix paced the bridge. This situation was unprecedented. In 3,000 years of expansion, the hegemony had never encountered a species that concealed its true technological level so effectively. Could they have been uplifted by another spacefaring race? He wondered aloud. Unlikely, Tella replied. The technologies described in their package show a unique development path unlike any known civilization. As the hegemony integration fleet approached Earth's solar system, Zorix made his decision. He transmitted the data package to Fleet Admiral Xaran along with his own assessment. Earth was not what it appeared to be. The response was dismissive. Primitive civilizations often attempt deception when faced with superior force. The integration will proceed as planned. On Earth, President Chen addressed the United World Council one final time before the hegemony fleet's arrival. For nearly a century, we have prepared for this moment. Our ancestors wisely chose to hide our true capabilities while we developed the technologies needed to defend our planet. Tomorrow, we will reveal ourselves not just to these would-be conquerors, but to our own people. The vote was unanimous. Protocol revelation would begin at dawn. The warning and revelation. The hegemony integration fleet emerged from hyperspace beyond the orbit of Mars. 112 warships arranged in perfect formation around the massive flagship Inevitable. On its bridge, Fleet Admiral Xaran surveyed the distant blue marble of Earth with cold calculation. Status of the primitive defense systems, he inquired, his voice echoing in the cavernous command center. Minimal orbital presence, Admiral, reported his tactical officer. Several hundred satellites, most for communication and observation. One small space station. A handful of automated defense platforms around major population centers. Xaran's four eyes blinked in sequence, a gesture of satisfaction among his species. As expected, deploy the broadcast drones, standard capitulation message, all Earth languages. Across the planet, every electronic device capable of receiving a signal suddenly displayed the same message. People of Earth, your planet has been selected for integration into the galactic hegemony. Resistance will result in unnecessary suffering. Your leaders have 24 hours to surrender governmental authority. Compliance will be rewarded. In homes, offices, and public spaces around the world, people stared at their devices in shock and fear. But in the command center beneath Antarctica, Earth's unified leadership prepared to respond. They're following standard hegemony first contact protocols, General Zhang noted. Intimidation followed by limited demonstrations of force against military targets. President Chen nodded. Then let's not keep them waiting. Admiral Okafor, you may proceed with the diplomatic approach. A sleek vessel, far more advanced than anything publicly known to exist on Earth, rose from the Atlantic Ocean. The envoy accelerated smoothly to the edge of Earth's atmosphere before transmitting a message to the hegemony fleet. Attention galactic hegemony vessels. This is Admiral Ndidi Okafor, representing the United Earth Government. We request direct communication with your command authority. On the bridge of the Inevitable, Admiral Xaran watched the approaching Earth vessel with mild curiosity. Interesting. Their technology appears more advanced than initial reports suggested. His second-in-command, Sub-Commander Lorix, studied the sensor readings. The vessel does show energy signatures inconsistent with their known development level. Admiral, perhaps Commander Zorix's concerns were not entirely unfounded. A single advanced vessel does not change the outcome. Xaran dismissed. Open a channel. Admiral Okafor's image appeared on the main view screen. Admiral Xaran, I presume. Thank you for accepting this communication. State your purpose quickly, Xaran replied. Your civilization has been selected for integration. The process is non-negotiable. With respect, Admiral, we are not here to negotiate integration. We are here to issue a warning. The only one you will receive. Xaran's facial ridges darkened with amusement. A warning? From a pre-spacefaring civilization to the galactic hegemony. Your courage is admirable but misplaced. Admiral Okafor's expression remained serious. You have scanned our planet and categorized us as an easy conquest based on what you observed. What you do not understand is that Earth has deliberately concealed its true capabilities for generations. We have observed the hegemony's expansion patterns and prepared accordingly. Empty threats do not impress me, human, Xeran stated flatly. If you possessed significant defensive capabilities, you would not have hidden them. On the contrary, Okafor replied, we hid them precisely because they are significant. We value our independence and knew that displaying our full technological development would attract unwanted attention. She paused, then continued. We will demonstrate a small fraction of our capabilities as proof of good faith. Please observe. Before Xeran could respond, sensor alarms blared across the hegemony fleet. Without warning, 50 hegemony ships found themselves suddenly encased in spheres of shimmering energy, not fired from the Earth vessel or from the planet, but somehow generated simultaneously around each target ship. What is this? Xeran demanded, standing from his command chair as a similar sphere encased the inevitable. A localized phase shift field, Admiral Okafor explained calmly. It creates a temporal bubble around your vessels. From your perspective, only seconds have passed. Outside, however, it has been approximately 5 minutes. During that time, we could have disabled or destroyed every ship in your fleet. As suddenly as they had appeared, the energy fields dissipated. Xeran's tactical officer reported in a shaken voice. Admiral, sensor logs confirm a 5-minute discrepancy. During that time, our shields were penetrated by something. We detect newly placed devices attached to our primary power cores. They're not weapons, Admiral Okafor clarified. Merely transponders to prove our point. We could just as easily have placed demolition devices. Silence reigned on the hegemony flagship as the implications sank in. No known civilization possessed technology that could bypass hegemony shields without detection. The hegemony has encountered 3,042 different civilizations in its history. Okafor continued. Of those, only 8 have been permitted to remain independent because they possess technologies the hegemony valued. We are asking, respectfully, to be the 9th. Xeran's mind raced through strategic options, but the demonstration had been unambiguous. Whatever humanity's true capabilities were, they clearly exceeded hegemony tactical countermeasures. I will need to consult with the High Council, he said finally. Of course, Admiral Okafor replied. While you do, Earth will now reveal its true face to both our own citizens and to you. Across Earth, hidden installations began to emerge from mountain ranges, ocean depths, and desert sands. Massive shield generators activated, creating a barely visible iridescent dome around the planet. Orbital platforms that had remained cloaked for decades shimmered into visibility, hundreds of them, forming a defensive grid far beyond what the hegemony had detected. On screens worldwide, President Chen addressed humanity. Citizens of Earth, today we end the Great Deception. For almost a century, the nations of our world have worked together in secret, preparing for the day when we would encounter other civilizations. Today is that day. She explained how the recovery of alien technology in the mid-20th century had led to remarkable advancements, and how world leaders had made the decision to conceal these developments to avoid attracting attention before Earth was ready. The visitors currently in our solar system represent the Galactic Hegemony, an empire that absorbs other civilizations by force. We have been monitoring their expansion and preparing our defenses. Today, we have demonstrated that humanity cannot be conquered or subjugated. As the truth was revealed to Earth's population, Admiral Xeran received his orders from the Hegemony High Council. He reopened communications with the envoy. Admiral Okafor, the High Council has reviewed our situation. They propose a diplomatic exchange to formally recognize Earth's unique status. Okafor nodded. We would welcome such an exchange. Earth has no interest in conflict with the hegemony. We merely wish to determine our own future. Within days, diplomatic delegations from Earth and the hegemony met aboard a neutral station positioned between the planetary and hegemony fleets. The resulting agreement established Earth as an independent territory, with whom the hegemony would maintain peaceful relations and trade. As the hegemony fleet prepared to depart, Commander Zorix of the Harbinger requested a private meeting with Admiral Okafor. "There's something I don't understand," he admitted when they were alone. "How did a single planet, isolated from galactic civilization, develop technologies that surpass our own?" Admiral Okafor studied him for a moment before answering. "The crash in 1947 gave us a starting point, it's true. But what truly accelerated our development was something unique to humans, our division." Seeing Zorix's confusion, she continued, "Throughout our history, humans have competed against each other. Nations, corporations, ideologies, all driving innovation through rivalry. When we united in secret to face the stars, we channeled that competitive drive toward a common goal. But surely other species have experienced competition," Zorix argued. "Yes, but few have managed to harness it productively once unified," Okafor responded. "We took different approaches to the same problems, explored countless dead ends, and shared our successes. 3,000 separate research teams working on gravity manipulation will find solutions that a single unified approach might miss." She smiled slightly. "The hegemony's greatest misconception was believing that our apparent division made us weaker. In reality, it was the source of our strength." As Zorix departed, he reflected on humanity's single warning to the hegemony, not delivered in anger or fear, but with the calm confidence of a species that had prepared for centuries to take its place among the stars. Word spread quickly through the galaxy. For the first time in a millennium, the galactic hegemony had encountered a civilization it could not subdue. A single planet of humans who had transformed from primitive beings to masters of technologies beyond the hegemony's understanding. And they had done it all while pretending to be divided and vulnerable, waiting patiently for the moment when they would step onto the galactic stage on their own terms. The humans had issued only one warning. It was all they needed.